Joost and Ruth, thanks very much for your time this afternoon. Tell us a little bit about the Australian International Documentary Conference, of which, Ruth, you're a manager and you're executive director.
The conference has been around for about almost 25 years now, and it's a beast that grew out of the industry. And it started off as an annual get-together, more a social kind of event for documentary filmmakers, with an ambition to lobby for more documentaries on television and the position of documentaries, and sort of a unionization, if you would like to call it that, in a very loose form. And from there, that was in 1987, it grew into what it is now. Now it is an international conference with a thriving marketplace for the financing of documentaries. We get international broadcasters attending our markets.
Try and explain, perhaps we could get a definition of what actually is a documentary. How does that, what separates a documentary out from other forms of filmmaking?
I think it's not too far removed from a drama feature, in a sense. I don't think it is necessarily an account of the truth. It isn't an educational tool, in my opinion. It is a piece of entertainment that is that aims to tell a story that happened in real life or is happening in real life. Again, it doesn't aim to tell the truth. It can be a personal account. It can be well-researched history piece. It can be anything. I think there's as many genres in documentary as there are in writing, television. You name it.
But in recording something that is about somebody's life or an event that's happened or happening, is there not an emphasis on the need for it to present an accurate account, albeit only a collection of one person's view of the facts?
I think you always end up with an interpretation. There's an author's voice in every recollection, and I don't think we should put a badge of truth on it. I think it's hard to accomplish, and I think it puts too much weight on the genre.
Yeah, I mean, it contains all the elements, like you said, that the fiction piece has. You've got your characters, you've got your story, you've got the events that happen. And as soon as you point the camera somewhere, you're framing some version of subjectivity. So, what's happening here is not being recorded. So, how one manages to capture the truth is an enigma in that respect. So,
do you think people perceive documentaries as representing at least one person's view of an accurate recounting of it? I suppose what I'm getting to is that maybe the granddaddy of documentaries in recent times has been An Inconvenient Truth, and subsequent to the showing of that, some of the premises of that have been somewhat demolished in terms of facts and so forth. And I then note in more recent times too, I would have thought not dissimilar type of documentaries, Food Inc. and End of the Line, have not done commercially, as I understand it, all that well. And I'm just wondering whether that issue of truth is an important part of the credibility of the whole genre.
I don't think the reason why Food Inc. or End of the Line weren't didn't that well at the box office is to be blamed on Inconvenient Truth, in the sense that it might not have portrayed the exact scientific truth. I think it more has to do with people are getting a bit tired of that environmental doomsday message being thrown at them, and that brings me back to sort of the start of my definition of documentary, which is that first of all it's a piece of entertainment, and you have to make it in a way that that you
Draw people in.
draw people in, and there's no other rules for documentary as there are for a drama film. You have to be able to capture people's attention span and draw them into your story. So whatever alternative motives you have with making the film, it's the end of the day you choose to get your message across by using an entertainment property or entity, so you have to play by those rules.
Also interested in your views about the impact of YouTube on the documentary genre, not so much as a medium through which traditional documentaries may be shown, but of people recording their own stories and facts. How do you see that, the YouTube phenomenon, impacting upon traditional documentaries?
It's just everybody has tools now that they didn't have before, so we're finding that people can express themselves more readily, make themselves more visible. The thing about YouTube is promotion. You know, that's why people that have got talent manage to actually rise above all the millions of users and content providers. But yeah, it's essentially it can give people a leg up. It can make your project a lot more visible if you understand the way that social networking and the power of the toolkit that is there. In terms of having an impact on documentary filmmaking per se, no, not at all. It's a platform.
Oh, I do think it has had an impact. I think professional filmmakers can get away with lesser technical screen quality because we're used to more wonky stuff through YouTube, and we can integrate that in our films a bit more as sort of user-generated content, and that are
Elements of.
I'm not saying the whole of YouTube style films would work on television, but
Screening Room started off a few weeks ago with the Daniel Ellsberg The Most Dangerous Man in America film. Tell us about what the purpose of Screening Room is and the program coming up.
Well, really, the Screening Room is an opportunity for us to have a public interface and to push the cause of documentary. We want to build audiences, and we also run a screening program called F4, which is a part of the conference activity on the side. So part of what we're doing is trying to build a following for that's about outcome, but also just in general, people are not able to see documentaries as readily as they are fiction, and plenty of films don't get shown in a theatrical context. So a lot of great films, such as the Ellsberg, that one is actually going to go on to have a theatrical release, but we want to provide a regular sort of slot, build an audience for it, create discourse amongst the audience.
Now, the next film in the series, I understand, is Bananas, and that's a bit of another one of these doomsday type films.
It's not really a doomsday film. It's a positive film in the sense that it's it's a David and Goliath story about first world versus third world food politics, and it focuses on a formidable legal team that represent humanitarian causes, and the case that they're focusing on is about between a company, big food company, Dole Corporation, and 13 plaintiffs who were victims of mass pesticide poisoning over a huge amount of time, 20, 30 years. So the film focuses on the court scenarios and going through the journey, and also the kind of personal side to the legal team in terms of their motivations and so on and so forth. It's a really well-crafted, beautiful film.
And there's a bit of a grassroots movement around this film. The filmmaker is in a legal battle with the Dole Corporation, and so it's the main character in the film is the David and Goliath kind of analysis, but the filmmaker himself is in a similar situation with that same company now. And yeah, so there's a grassroots online campaign going in favour of the filmmaking. Yeah, and we feel quite proud that we can support that with a screening here in Adelaide. Hope we can get some people aware of this.
Joost and Ruth, many thanks for your time.